Speaking to Jamie Elson ahead of another doubleheader weekend against the Raiders. I know you say you enjoy these, but maybe you're starting to get fed up of playing the same teams.
No, I generally I like it when you have the same team back to back. I think from a coaching perspective, it's a little less prep for the weekend. You're just kind of focusing on one team, which is nice. I think selfishly from that point of view, but I think it just adds that extra bit of spice to the games. Whatever happens on the Saturday night, 24 hours later, you're going to be going again, and if you've lost, it's a chance to push back, or like this weekend, we win on the Saturday, and Swindon roll in Sunday night, you're amped up to get a response. So yeah, I just think it adds a little bit of spice to the games. It's something we probably don't get enough of.
Now maybe there's a bit less adrenaline and a bit less emotion. What do you take away from Sunday night's performance?
I stand by what I said. It's frustrating because you watch back Saturday's game now. This week we've had a chance to sit down, break down Saturday, and lots of positive Saturday. We're definitely moving in the right direction with parts of our play. Saturday was really good in some areas, really good. So disappointing to come out Sunday and not just lose, but the performance wasn't right. We got away from what got us successful on Saturday, but disappointing that character wise and some personal stuff there. I just felt we didn't have enough about us. We didn't have enough character on Sunday night. You got to expect the team to come looking for a response the next night. We've got to accept that's going to be the case. We would be saying the same if we just lost 6-1. So you kind of know what's coming, and we have to be ready to battle and compete and ramp it up, and we have to be ready to manage the occasion. And I just felt like we didn't do that.
So is that the message to your team this weekend, that you want to see two strong performances, not just the one?
Yeah, I think it's it's easy to be good when the game's going well and it's going your way. It's easy to be a good guy. It's easy to do the right things when, as a group, we're having a night. When you roll in on Sunday and you go behind early and a team's really coming at you, is when we have to really get back to the core fundamentals of what our structure is and what our team ethos is. And they're the nights where we have to show our worth. They're the nights where maybe it's not quite going your way, but can we find a way to get 2 points? And we haven't managed to do that. When we've really been off the boil, we haven't found a way to kind of be right in there in a game. Yeah, I think that's the message. It can't just be one and done weekends. We have to find a way to get more than 2 points out of weekends going forward. But you can't focus on the result. You have to focus on the process.
So in that perspective, is the road game against Sheffield a sort of good barometer for the performance you want? I know maybe the team didn't play amazingly well, but you go there on the big ice in their own rink and you take them to overtime, you get that point. Is that kind of the level that you're looking for on that Sunday night game?
I think even more than that. I mean, if we're honest, I think the performance was better in terms of we're on the road, but still wasn't what we needed. I think if we're all honest, we stole a point there, or Ben stole a point there with his performance that night. But I think we still have to be better again. I'm disappointed that after how we played against the Steeldogs on the Saturday, that again we didn't back that up on the Sunday night with a performance. Exactly the same scenario as Swindon here. They were disappointed to lose. We won fairly comfortably on the Saturday, so you have to go on the Sunday night expecting a big pushback. And yes, we're young, but I think we've got to get to the point where that's not an excuse anymore. We have to rely on our details, on our structure, on our process, and we have to find ways to be grittier in those scenarios and be able to grind out wins when maybe it's not pretty and it's not perfect.
You mentioned Ben there. How crucial has he been? Obviously, he got some recognition being called to back up for the Devils on Wednesday night. How influential has his play been for your team so far?
I think he's been great. I think there's no doubt about it. He's been hot. But I think it'd be unfair not to mention the pair of them, really. I think coming in this year, we changed the goalie tandem, and I wouldn't say that we took some heat in the summer, but I think there was a lot of people kind of questioning kind of what we were going with. Ben's unproven. Matty had a good year in MK, his last full year in MK, but then last year he's at the Bees and they don't have a great year. So I think there's a lot of people questioning kind of what we're going to have, but the one thing I'll say is, like, in practice, the compete level between the two of them, they both bring it. Like, every night in practice, they're two of the hardest, if not the two hardest working guys we have. and that's great. Like, it keeps everyone accountable, and it kind of pushes the intensity and the level and what we do in practice, and they bring that to game day. And I think, yeah, Ben's been great, but I think when Matty's been in as well, I don't think there's been a game we've been disappointed with goaltending at all. But it's great for Ben. He's 19 and it is his first year in the league, and I guess people know that he's talented, but people are saying, can he do it at senior level? And I think the answer is a pretty outstanding yes at the moment.
Looking ahead to the weekend, obviously it's as I said, doubleheader against Raiders. How do you feel you match up against them? Obviously, they've not had the best of starts, but the firepower they have, you feel like that's not going to continue?
Yeah, for sure. They're a good team. They have a lot of depth. They have a good Brit pack that have been pretty consistent there for a number of years. Sean's a really good coach. They're well coached. They have a ton of structure. They go all the way to the playoff final last year, and to be honest, a couple more minutes in that game, I think they'd be arguing that maybe that they get that game and they clinch a cup there. But they've had similar start to us. They've had input troubles, some guys out the lineup with injuries, some call-ups. I know Zach Milton's been playing with Guildford a little bit in the Elite League. So, I think we've kind of had comparable starts here. But last year, they were one of the teams that we felt that we matched up pretty well with. With some good games, certainly in our barn, we had some good games against them. So I think, it is an important game for both teams. I think both coaches, I've spoken to Sean a little bit this week. I think, we both know our seasons haven't started quite how we want. Time's ticking, we both need to push on. So, both clubs are looking at this weekend, aiming up for 4 points here.
And finally, is there an update on Brennan and his arrival?
Yeah, frustratingly, there's not. His visa paperwork's gone in. He's done his visa appointment. The general timescales is 7 working days is kind of what you get back normally, and we're kind of up to 8-9 working days now. So a little bit of frustration. I think we were kind of hoping to have an answer by the middle of this week, and at this point, still no word. So unfortunately, it looks very unlikely like he'll be in the lineup for this weekend, and we'll have to get into next week and kind of see whether we can get any further updates on his situation.